Welcome to a Good Friday Kids Church special. My name is Jolie and I want to discuss what Good Friday is. John chapter 18 is called Jesus is Arrested. So Jesus knew ahead of time that one of his disciples, Judas, was going to betray him. So what he decided to do was to give himself up to Pilate's soldiers. So Pilate was the king of the town, and everybody did not like Jesus or believe that he was the chosen one because he called himself a king as well. So he was the king of Jews, and a lot of the Jewish leaders did not like that, and they wanted him to be punished for portraying himself as a king even though Pilate was the king. So when Pilate had multiple conversations with Jesus, he saw that Jesus was the chosen one and he didn't want to charge him with any wrongdoing. He wanted Jesus to stay alive, but the Jewish leaders kept wanting him to be crucified. So Jesus was crucified, and that means that he was placed on the cross and he died for us. So what we celebrate on Good Friday, even though it doesn't sound like a good event that happens, Jesus gave us salvation. And that means it's deliverance from sins and any consequences. So Jesus knew that his next step in God's plan was to die for us so we can be forgiven for our sins and our wrongdoing. So that's why it's called Good Friday, because we see the sacrifice that Jesus made for us to make it a Good Friday, for us to learn from our sins and for us to be freed from any consequences from God. God had a plan for redeeming the world and our relationship with him. So we receive mercy and forgiveness and salvation because of what Jesus did for us on Good Friday. So now you know what Good Friday is and why we celebrate it and why it's so important to us, especially with the weekend coming and Easter coming. And that's another lesson that we're going to learn as well on Saturday. So for today, I thought it would be fun if we learned how to make some hot cross buns. So I hope you guys are ready to get cooking. So we're going to get started on our hot cross buns. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking 2.5 cups of flour and putting it in a bowl. Next, we're taking a 1/2 cup of milk plus 2 tablespoons of milk. Now we need 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. Now we need 2 teaspoons of instant yeast, or if you have active dry yeast, you can use 2.5 teaspoons. Now we're going to take 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. We're going to do another 1/2 teaspoon of ground allspices. Take 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Take 1 egg and crack it. Take 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Take 3 tablespoons of unsalted softened butter or melted butter. Next, take 3/4 cup of raisins. So this is how your bowl should look like. Next, we're going to whisk everything together. At one point it got really sticky, so I just decided to mix it with my hands so it didn't stick together with the whisk. Next, take a clean work surface and knead the dough until it gets soft and elastic. Next, take a little bit of oil and rub it along the sides of a bowl. Now we're going to place our dough in the bowl and then get some clear wrap to put on top of the bowl. And we're going to let it proof, which means we're going to allow the dough to naturally expand. So it is now 10:36, so we're going to let the dough proof for 1 hour and then come back and see how big the bread has gotten. So about an hour has passed now, and this is how proofed our bread has gotten. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut it into pieces and roll it into a ball so then we can allow it to proof some more. So you're going to take any type of spray on a non-stick tray, or you can go ahead and use oil or butter so the bread does not stick in the oven while it cooks. So now I'm just breaking the dough into little pieces, and then we're just going to roll them up. And then once we're done, we're going to place them on the tray that has the spray on it. So once you transfer them to the tray, we're going to put plastic wrap over them and allow them to proof for 1 more hour. So it's been about an hour since we left them out to proof, and this is how they have expanded. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to make the cross icing. So get a small bowl, and all you need is half a cup of flour and half a cup of water, and then mix it together until you get a nice consistency. But make sure it's not too runny, because then it's not going to stick to the bread properly. Next, you can pour the mix into a Ziploc bag, because we're going to use this as our icing bag. And once you're done, you're going to cut a very small hole on the bottom corner so the icing can come out. So now you can start drawing the cross. So I just did the top line on all of them first so I can get the hang of it, and then you can do the horizontal line to finish the cross. Okay, so these are how my cross buns came out. They're not perfect, so I just went with a paper towel and just cleaned up some of the excess. Now it's time to place them in the oven. So the oven should be at 375, and it should be in there for about 10 minutes or until it becomes golden brown, to the point that you can see the cross icing on top. So now the cross buns look perfect. They're golden brown and the cross on top is very visible to see. So now you can take them out and let them cool off, and then they're ready to eat. I hope you guys had a great time making some hot cross buns with me today, and have a happy Good Friday. Bye!